Heads up, attention shoppers. The latest fashion infatuation could land you in jail.
Oh.
The New York Times is calling it the delirious rise of super fake handbags. Shoppers around the world who are eager to stay in style are now turning to counterfeit luxury goods. Carly Shimkus is the co-host of Fox & Friends First, and Rikki Schlott is a columnist for the New York Post. So apparently it's just really hard to tell what is a fake bag and what is a real bag. And I think a lot of people, maybe younger people, might not realize this. Let's just show you on screen here. Bags and wallets seized in 2022, 300,000 of them. Okay, that's call for number one. And it's a big issue, Carly.
Yeah.
I read this article with some great interest.
As did I. So we're not talking about the Canal Street knockoff here. We're talking about bags that are like $300 to $600. But you're saving money because the real one is like $10,000, $20,000 if you're talking about a Birkin. I hate this trend, and I don't think that anybody should buy these bags because they're from China, which is the most egregious thief of intellectual property. And it's maddening to think about how much money China makes when you're talking about stealing other people and other countries' stuff. And it's not just bags. It's really serious things like pharmaceutical IP and blueprints for weapons. But from fashion to national security, this is another thing that China's doing. Maybe it's something that Antony Blinken can bring up when he goes to China.
Take it to a higher level. Rikki, what do you think? Does it matter?
I mean, I think it's a big problem for my generation because we're very into the secondhand market and recycling fashion. And it's hard even for the experts at The Real or places like that to vet these bags.
Can I show you something, Rikki? Here,
Yeah.
so call for number 3 here. Let's just, one's a Chanel bag and one's a fake. Can you tell which is which?
Hang on. We need to see the exchange.
I would have to smell the leather. I think that might be the giveaway.
The answer is you'll have to wait and see with the smiley face. So I guess that nobody knows. I don't know.
Can I also know what fake is? There we go on the left-hand side.
I tell you what, the one on the left is shinier than it should be for a Chanel.
Oh my gosh, are you serious?
Go back to it and I'll show you.
The fact that you know that is
Go back to the previous screen. Come on, there it is. Put it up. What do you think now, Dana?
I think you're obviously right.
Thanks.
You must be a connoisseur.
All right, back to Rikki on that. Keep going.
Yeah, I mean, I also see in my generation there's no like taboo anymore around this because people, you're not going down to Canal Street, you're not on some gritty corner with cash. People are just buying them straight off Instagram and there's no issue and no problem whatsoever. And they think they're like sticking it to the capitalist man, but really you're still paying for that same
What
logo.
I think was unclear is that like if you're carrying it around, then have you done something illegal? Like if you buy a fake bag and you're carrying it around, like you could go to jail?
I think the culpability is if you knowingly purchase it. But
Right.
I
And
think
it's definitely
part of the problem
Apparently
is
that
the
is what's
secondhand.
happening,
Yeah, I
right?
think
If you read the article, they're calling up people on WhatsApp over in China and ordering the bag.
And it's if you know that you're selling the bag. So Customs and Border Protection, sometimes they seize large loads of knockoff bags. So it's also a thing that comes through our southern border, which is another interesting element to it. This does bring up how ridiculous the cost of these luxury bags
so
are.
stupid.
We've known that forever. But, you know, listen, if you were willing to spend $20,000 on a Birkin bag, good for Birkin. You're selling something that people want.
Pretty good bargains out there that look pretty good. All right, Dana, millennials and Gen Z are telling the boomers what annoys them.
I know.
You want to show it to them?
Yes, let's see. The things. Okay, so this is at work, and Gen Z is saying that baby boomers are too liberal with like the reply all. They hate being on the phone all the time. Why do we always have to do phone calls? They ask questions that Google can answer, so how annoying is that? They hurt the environment by printing everything. Oh, I'm guilty as charged there. And they're too obsessed with promotions. Oh, that's interesting, because I thought it was the other way around. But anyway, I do think, Rikki, that this generational divide in the workplace is causing some tension.
Absolutely, and I think a lot of it comes down to communication style and the fact that we're just digital natives, and being on Slack and messaging back and forth is very easy for us. We know all the emoji lingo, and a lot of our older coworkers, it's just not as native to them, and I think we need to have a little more compassion than some of these complaints.
Thank you. Reverse mentor.
I like this whole idea about not Googling the answer, because I like to walk down the hall and just
Does anybody know?
Yeah, what
this-
year did that happen?
Yeah, the one that stuck out to me is that older people are too obsessed with promotions in the workplace. Like
what is that, like
maybe
a discount?
you should get that's a good thing to be obsessed with.
Like maybe we want to have like competition and ambition.
So I agree with the phone calls. It's, you know,
so
don't call, text,
I'll just text
email.
I'll just text you.
But I think that everybody should be a little obsessed with advancing their career.
Yeah,
that's a good thing.
All right.
Yeah,
it's great to have you both.
Good to be here.
Do you feel a little older?
Well, I know Rikki had a birthday
He did.
You are.
So she's definitely older.
She's older.
And happy birthday to you.
Well, thank you.
You bet.
Lovely to have you both.
Welcome back.
Thank you.
Okay, stick around
Happy
because you
be
want to
back.
know about this story. NASA is tracking